Rise is here in studio. Things have changed with them. They're going to be telling us details next, only on the Pulse. So we are here sitting in studio with the girls and Guy of Rise. Nice to see you guys. Welcome to East Coast Radio. Hello.
Hello, Abby. Thank you.
So we've got lots to talk about. Rise is different. Rise is back, and Rise is exciting at the moment. But something that you did how long ago did you write Be the Change?
2010.
2010, okay.
Yeah.
So in the midst of what's going on all of this week when the whole country's in mourning for Madiba, you guys wrote the song for Madiba.
No, I don't think for him, but it was inspired by him.
I see, okay.
He used a quote that actually Gandhi said, which was, "Be the change that you want to see."
Right.
He used that in one of his speeches that he gave. And it just kind of stuck with me, that phrase, basically.
Yes.
And then on a trip to Sun City, in the back of a bus, I was scribbling down and then I started writing. And then when we got back into the studio in Durban, I called Kerry in and we wrote the verse sections together.
Yes. So the reason why we're focusing on this is because I really felt like I want to play this song. It's appropriate, it's beautiful, and we're going to get back with you guys, Colin, Kerry, and Donna. And we're going to get back to hear all of the cool new stuff courtesy of Rise. Hold on. This is Rise with Be the Change, a song inspired by Madiba and therefore incredibly appropriate for the week that we're having. And Rise is here in studio at East Coast Radio to talk about a whole lot of exciting, cool stuff that the band has experienced. I mean, it's changed a little bit. You guys have got some new music coming up. Now, Colin, before we even get there, can you introduce yourself as the person who does X in the band and what you do outside of the band as well? Coffee maker, pizza maker, cook, etc.
Okay.
Let's start with you, Colin.
Okay, well, in the band I'm the guitar player.
Okay.
And I also do most of the programming and the production side. Well, I'm very involved in the production side of how the band actually sounds. Really.
Okay.
And then outside the band I run a recording studio. So we're fortunate enough to be able to have the time to work, and I think a lot of people comment on our productions and the kind of slickness that they have. I mean, it's not just me, we've also got a wonderful mixing engineer that we send our stuff to. But yeah, it is nice to have the space to be able to work and experiment.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kerry, you're next.
Well, I'm the lead singer in the band and write with Colin and Donna now. And I am in the entertainment industry outside of the band, backstage doing rigging actually.
Interesting.
And I fly lighting and sound rigs and audiovisual for, like, the last one I did was Lady Gaga. So I'm like, I'm going on tour with Lady Gaga. Yeah. I'm going on tour with Bruce Springsteen. I'm actually not singing for them. I'm just putting up the equipment.
But still, I mean, it's what an interesting answer. Oh my gosh, best answer ever. Okay, Donna, I don't know if you can trump that though.
No, I can't. I'm an au pair during the day, so I look after a 3-year-old.
Amazing.
Very odd for a rock and roll star. That rock and roll. We try and get the music in there and get her going.
Of course.
I run the admin for our studio,
Okay.
recording studio as well.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay. Colin, now.
Oh, and she plays drums, plays the keyboards,
Oh,
and
yes.
runs all the technology live.
And there's a backup singing.
Oh yeah, and she's vocal. Yeah, no.
Just that.
She's
Yeah,
been
no,
a
that's all.
huge addition to the band, basically.
Whoa.
Because basically what happened was that Martin decided that his commitments at Origin were taking up far too much of his time, and he basically bowed out.
Okay.
So we had a huge hole to fill. I mean, Martin McHale is a big guy, you know?
Yeah.
So so we just tossed around out a few ideas, and then we ended up asking Donna to join, who was kind of new to the musician thing, and she's just taken to it like a duck to water. She's just
And filled so many of those positions as you were just ranting on.
and also visually we've become a bit more expressive on stage as well, because she's banging things and playing keyboards and vocaling a lot. So I mean, she's doing most of the harmonies are now carried by her.
And hang on, are we missing a person today?
Yes, we are. Daniel is at home right now babysitting because his wife's doing yoga. Hi Dan. Dan is our bassist. He's actually a very important part in our band, and we're sorry he's not
musically here. He's certainly elevated, especially the writing of the new album. He's really elevated the way in which we write. We've become much more live in the way that we do things, whereas before we were much more technology based.
Right.
But because we were able to, because he's just a fantastic musician, so he's stretching me as a writer as well, which is really, really great. And it's a real pity that he's not here.
Do you think that, I was going to actually ask how everything in the dynamic has changed? So besides the change in you being less behind the scenes and more live, what else has changed amongst you? So what other things will people recognize with this new album in the change besides the new people? Is the sound still the same? How has the dynamic changed?
The sound is getting a little rougher, if I had to give it something. I mean, if you listen to the first two albums, it was very kind of slick and cool and that, and basically what we've been trying to do now is get it to be a bit more gritty, a little bit more rock and roll. I mean, you'll hear when we play the next single, it's a bit more edgy. I've also been experimenting and listening to a lot of music that I grew up with, which was kind of the early 80s indie bands and the electronic bands of that time. People like The Cure and New Order and Depeche Mode. And, so those were the people that I really kind of grew up with. So I've been listening to a lot of that kind of music and taking a lot of inspiration from those kinds of bands, as opposed to when we were writing the first two albums. It was very much a kind of 90s kind of rave scene.
Yes.
But also having Donna in the band, it's lent itself to a 3-part harmony, so it's given it a very different kind of sound. Some people say it's more European. It's really broadened our music, and it's really exciting.
I mean, you being part of the founding member, you must be excited at the whole dynamic change and moving forward. You actually look like you're lighting up as you're talking about it.
No, it really is exciting because I mean, Rise started as, well, it was going to be my solo album, and I was like, oh, I want to be in a band. So, and Colin and I were working on that album, and then it developed into Rise, which with Martin had that whole like DJ like feel, and then with the second album, 11 artists on the album. And so it became more organic and more real, and Dan joined us after that because he was on the album.
He played the bass on the second album.
Yeah, and now the new stuff is just even way better. I don't know, I just think we're growing as a band, and it's really more, it's very, very exciting.
Which brings us to Pop-Tarts. Colin, tell us about it.
Basically, it was, I think it was like the 9th season of Idols or something, and I was just sitting at home watching it on television, just thinking that they're just perpetuating this constant need for celebrity, and I just felt like the music just became so secondary by the end of this run. It just became about voting and about what you looked like, and I mean, even some of the competitions, I think by the end were almost won on how people looked as opposed to how they were actually singing. Well, certainly from my personal point of view anyway. So I started writing these lyrics. I want to be a Pop-Tart, I want to be on a Pop-Chart, that kind of thing, and it was basically just a comment on the Idols generation.
And this is it, something brand new on East Coast Radio from Rise. It is Pop-Tarts.
I wanna be a Pop-Tart on a Pop-Chart. I wanna be seen on a TV screen. I will dress hot, show you what I got. I will need to sing when you see what I bring. I don't need.
So we're sitting here with the members of Rise. We have Kerry, we have Colin, and we have Donna here, chatting about all things awesome. So we've just played Pop-Tart, your new single, and I believe there's a video, Donna.
Yes, we just launched our new video, our music video, Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
It's been launched on our very new website, which was also launched today.
Oh my gosh.
You can go to www.riseband.co.za, and you can just click on the link, on the video link at Reverb Nation, or the link is actually on the website.
Okay, nice.
And please share it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like and share. Was it fun doing a music video?
Such fun. I was so miserable afterwards. Like after 4 days, I was like, who's gonna dress me? Who's gonna do my hair? Who's gonna put makeup on me? Yeah.
She says it's all fun for her. I spent 4 days waking up at 3 in the morning and going to bed at 12 at night, driving a car around, getting all the props to all the locations. It was intense.
So it didn't matter to you that there was someone doing your hair and makeup and dressing?
Nobody was doing my hair or makeup. It's all Kerry, I'm
all
afraid.
about
When you
me.
see the video, in fact, the only makeup we had was soil, which was glued to our
Gotta
bodies.
check it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I have to say many thanks to Outland Films who did an exceptional job on the video. I'm really ecstatic.
Janine and Jolien, you guys were rock.
Yeah,
They're
you guys rock.
phenomenal guys. If you check that video out, you'll just see how professional it is, and it's like we are so proud. It's
sure.
really beautiful.
And you can see that, and of course the link to Facebook, to Reverb Nation, to Twitter. Everything is online, www.riseband.co.za. So what kind of thing would you do differently at a show like at Wahoo's versus Smoking Dragon Festival in December, New Year's Eve?
It's really exciting. We've collaborated with a company called Blue Fire Productions, and they do fire and strength acts and aerial stuff. And so they're going to be performing with us into the new year, which is really exciting.
Not only that, but we get given the opportunity to do AV work, which we've always been very interested in. I mean, right from our very first launch show, we had a full AV show that went along with whatever we've done. You can see my Depeche Mode influence coming from there. So these kind of gigs give us the opportunity to bring out the AV stuff again, which we haven't had for a while. So it's going to be good.
To put on a show,
yeah,
which is cool,
not just a gig, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly. So that's happening, Smoking Dragon Festival in the Berg.
yay!
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Abby.
It's been awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
really great.
Congrats on the new single and the new album and all things amazing. May you just grow and just have amazing shows.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
guys.
much.
Thanks for
Cheers.
listening.